isn't the same without you. We've been hearing good feedback about some of the practices we've been offering, and one of the big things that's coming back to us is that you want to see the teachers that you've come to know and love and trust, and that's so understandable, especially right now. We're doing our best to work around tech difficulties, to work around our own erratic and really weird schedules right now. I'm very aware right now that the majority of our population is dysregulated to some degree. Every single one of us in the world right now is dealing with an unprecedented kind of stress and fear of the unknown. And that can bring a lot of other things to the surface for us. Feelings of loneliness and isolation are at the top of the list these days as we practice self-isolation and extreme social distancing in an effort to slow down a curve of this virus. So it's important, I really feel every day, to acknowledge our fears, to let ourselves feel the feelings so that we don't stuff them down. It's important to give ourselves the opportunity to voice our concerns, to share the things that are worrying us, and not to let that overcome us, but to be real about it so that we can mindfully practice being present with ourselves, with each other, so that we can do our best to keep our own nervous systems in check, our own hearts and our heads on straight and clear and strong. So give yourself permission to feel the discomfort, to feel the fear, to feel the pain, and then make sure that you've got some anchors to hold on to. Anchors like your meditation practice, getting outside in the sunshine, talking to people that you know and love, maybe even FaceTime so you can see their faces. As we flatten the curve, we want to be mindful of opening kind of these circles of compassion that we have while closing our physical connections and those circles that put us more at risk. So I'd like to invite you today to set the intention to be mindful with yourself, even if it's just for this practice. To be mindful and present with your breath, with the sensation that you feel in your body, with movement, and just breathe for a few moments. We're going to begin by taking a couple of full, deep, complete releasing breaths. So inhale as deeply as you can through your nostrils. Gather up any expectations or anticipation that you have, and just exhale with this deep sigh out through your mouth. And taking another really deep breath in, gather up fear of the unknown, any kind of anticipation or a discomfort that you have, and let that go. And I want you to take one more deep breath in, like you are gathering up all of the parts of you, the parts of your brain that might be skipping ahead, might still be stuck in bed, all of those parts of you. And as you exhale, land yourself in this space, here and now. Now sometimes, especially when we are deregulated, closing our eyes can feel very uncomfortable, too vulnerable. And that's okay if that's where you're at today. You can either close your eyes or just draw your gaze to a space on the floor in front of you, if that's easier for you to do today. And really all we're doing is kind of shutting the computer screen down, beginning to consciously turn awareness inward. And noticing for a moment how you feel, without judging it as good or bad. You might be able to name how you feel. It may even just be simply an awareness of sensation or feeling even somewhere in your body. Take the time to tune in. Know that it's okay to feel however you are feeling in this moment. That feelings like thoughts can shift and change. And that we have the power to direct where our thoughts go, what they settle in on. Once you notice how you're feeling, I want to invite you into that space to think about how you want to feel. Be safe, protected, peaceful, at ease, rested. And trust what comes up for you first. Let's see if maybe you can set an intention around that feeling today. An intention and a focus for your yoga practice that takes you in the direction of your highest good. I'm setting the intention to be mindfully present with this practice as I offer it for you. To be as present as I possibly can with a community through a video screen. To be aware of my words, my actions, and my breath. Take the time to set a clear intention for your practice today. And as you set intention, make sure that the words you use are positive, that they are set in the present tense, and have a certain sweetness to them. And repeat your intention a couple of times. Get it firmly embedded in your system. And then we're going to bring one hand to the upper chest, just under your collarbones, and another hand just above your belly button so that you can feel the rise and the fall of your breath. As you inhale, allow your belly to rise, rib cage to expand, top of your chest to lift. And as you exhale smoothly out through the nostrils, chest lowers, rib cage softens, and belly lowers. Just moving into the full, complete yogic breath. Inhale as fully and as deeply as you possibly can, and exhaling fully and completely every last drop of breath. Taking one more full breath just like this. And then bringing your arms out beside you, and with your next inhalation, lengthening your arms upward, reaching your hands toward the ceiling, possibly draw your gaze upward, and as you exhale, turn your palms facing down and pressing the air back and down. And just keep moving with your breath, with your inhalations, lengthening your arms upward, reaching toward the ceiling, drawing your gaze up. And as you exhale, pressing your palms down, and just like there's a plumb line in front of your nose, following that line all the way back down to the floor. 2 more full breaths, just like this. Inhaling, lengthening upward, and exhaling, pressing the air down. 1 last breath, inhaling up, and exhaling all of the way back down. Bringing your hands to the front of your kneecaps or even the sides of your chair. Try to keep your knees and your feet hip distance apart. With your next inhalation, tilting your tailbone out, arching your lower back, lifting up through the top of your chest. And again, as you exhale, curl your chin in towards your chest, drawing your bottom ribs back and in, and your lower belly inward. Keep moving with your breath, and if you need to take more than one breath per movement, don't worry about it. As long as you're not turning blue, you're getting this right. Take 2 more full rounds of cat and cow, arching your back, drawing your gaze upward, and then curling right into yourself, just like a tiny little fiddlehead. Taking 1 more full breath. And curling back in. Coming back up to the top, lengthening your arms out in front of you. Again, keeping shoulders and wrists and elbows the same distance apart, pointing down through your fingers, deep breath in. And as you exhale, pressing through your palms like you're pressing a wall away from you. 2 more times, inhaling fingertips down and exhaling, pressing through. 1 last time, fingertips down and exhale, pressing through your palms. Making soft fists with your hands, and on an inhalation, turning circles in toward each other. And as you exhale, turning your circles out and away. 2 more full breaths. Inhaling circles toward each other. And exhaling out and away. Just starting to get the snaps and the crackles and the pops out. 1 last full breath. Inhaling circles toward each other. And exhaling, turning out and away. Resting with your palms facing upward, and bring your hands to the tops of your shoulders. Drawing your elbows out to the side and begin to make big, round, soft circles backwards with your elbows. You can bring your chin slightly in towards your chest to elongate more through the back of your neck. Take 1 more giant big circle and opening your arms up nice and wide. Reach your fingertips as far apart from each other as you can, and then crossing your right arm over top of your left. You can walk your hands to the tops of your arms, possibly your shoulders, and if you have the space available, bring the backs of your hands together, possibly crisscrossing your arms. Bringing your chin in towards your chest, and draw your elbows down and away from you. Imagine drawing your breath as deeply into the upper chest as you possibly can, so you more directly impact that space between your shoulder blades. Take 1 more full deep breath. Follow it all of the way out. And then opening up again. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, left arm over top of your right, walking your hands up your shoulders, so you're giving yourself a hug here. You can keep your hands there, or bring the backs of your hands toward each other, or crisscross your arms. Drawing elbows down and away from you, chin slightly in towards your chest, and take 2 more full deep breaths here, directing into the upper chest as much as possible. Follow this next exhalation all of the way out. And then coming back into center, bringing your hands to the tops of your knees or the sides of your chair, and take 3 rounds of cat and cow, arching with an inhalation and exhaling, curling back and in. 2 more with your breath, lengthening upward and exhaling. Last time. Coming back into a neutral position. You can hold on to the sides of your chair, lengthening your right leg out in front of you. On an inhalation, pointing through your toes And as you exhale, press through your heel, drawing the top of your foot back towards you. Maybe remove lint if you have it stuck on your feet. Again, inhale, pointing out through your toes. And exhale, pressing through your heel. One last time, inhaling, pointing your toes away. Exhaling, pressing through your heel. As you point your toes away again, inhaling, painting a circle in one direction with your toes. And then exhaling, sending your circle in the opposite direction. 2 more full, complete breaths. Inhale in one direction and exhale in the other direction. And last time. And then scrunching up your toes like crazy. Squeeze them and try and yawn your toes open. 2 more times. Squeeze your toes and then yawn them open. If they kind of get stuck and they don't want to open, see if you can glue either your baby toe or your big toe down to the ground and spread and fan your toes out from there. Okay, when you're ready, switching sides, lengthening your left leg out. As you inhale, pointing through your toes and exhaling, pressing through your heel. 2 more times with your breath. Inhaling, pointing toes away, and exhaling, pressing through. Last time. And then pointing through your toes again, inhaling a circle in one direction, and exhaling your circle in the other direction. 2 more full breaths. Inhale in one direction, and exhale in the other. Last time. As you bring your left foot back down to the ground, again, scrunch up your toes, and then open your toes up as wide as you can. 2 more times with your breath, and a great way to practice this at home is picking up things off the floor with your toes and flicking them. I find it works great for socks. Bringing your feet all the way together as you complete that, knees together, and just gently let your knees sway a little bit from side to side. You make your way over to the left side of your chair. Right foot underneath of your right ankle. It's usually the only place it will go, but I mean more accurately. Stack your ankle and your foot underneath of your right knee. You can hold on to your chair so you don't fall off the edge, and lengthen your left leg out to the side. And we'll walk your left leg out as far as you're able to and still keep your left leg straight, your thigh firmed against the thigh bone, and all edges of your left foot to the floor, which may mean that you need to move your leg up a little closer toward the front. When you're ready, lengthening your arms up toward the ceiling, coming into Warrior One. You know, for a lot of different reasons, this is a good position for us to adopt a couple of times a day right now. It brings up a feeling of excitement. Some of you have heard me tell the story, but even those who have been blind since birth will actually cross a finish line and do this. Like, yes, I won, even if they've never seen it before. Take another deep breath into Warrior One, and making your way into Warrior Two, draw your right arm forward and left arm back. You can even walk your left foot a little further back if you have the space. And take a moment to turn your palms to the left side of the room. Spread your arms even further apart. And as you turn your palms facing down, looking over your right middle finger, soften your shoulders down away from your ears. Press deeply into all edges of your feet. Taking one more full breath here. And then hinge as far forward as you can. And bring your right arm on top of your right thigh, palm facing up. Keep looking down toward the floor and lengthen your left arm up toward the ceiling and reaching your left arm over top of your left ear. If your neck feels strong, turn to look into the left elbow. Taking one more full breath here. And with your next inhalation, press off of your leg with your right arm and lift with your left. And making your way back into center. And what we do to one side, we lovingly do to the other. So again, situating yourself on the right side of your chair, left butt cheek still on the ground, left ankle and foot underneath of your left knee, and your right leg drawn out to the right side. Firming your right thigh into the thigh bone and making sure all edges of your right foot are on the ground. With your next inhalation, lengthening your arms upward. And don't worry, if shoulders and neck are tight, keep your arms a little bit further apart from each other. Otherwise, you can begin to bring your palms closer toward each other. You can even direct your gaze upward. Balance is a little bit easier sometimes when we have a chair underneath of our butts. Take one more full breath, reaching upward and moving into warrior two. Lengthen your left arm forward and right arm back, possibly inching your right foot a little bit further back as long as you can keep your right foot firm to the ground. Again, turn your palms toward the right side of the room. Spread your fingers apart. Spread your arms like they're wings, and then palms facing down and looking over your left hand. Soften your shoulders down away from your ears. When you're ready, hinge forward. Bring your left arm on top of your left thigh and right arm up toward the ceiling. Just looking down over top of your left shoulder. Reach your right arm up and extend over top of your right ear, palm facing down. Reach into the outer edge of your right foot as if you're lifting the inner arch of your right foot. And if your neck feels strong, turn to look in towards your right elbow. With your next inhalation, again, press off with your left arm, actively lift with your right, and releasing your arms, and coming back into your center line. Just take a couple of shoulder rolls back and down. Take one more big shoulder roll. And then take a moment to look around the room. Follow the tip of your nose like you're watching a fly. Do great big figure eights around the room. Looking at the colors, at the textures, at the shapes. And notice which way your figure eights are going, and then switch the direction of your figure eights. And still taking everything in with your eyes, the colors, the textures, the shapes, noticing even sounds around you. And just slowly coming back into your center line. On an exhalation, let your right ear drop towards your right shoulder. Take a deep letting go breath, letting your right shoulder soften. On your next inhalation, coming back to center, and exhaling your left ear to the left shoulder. Again, take a letting go breath. Let your shoulders soften. Coming back up into center, lengthening your arms upward. You're going to bring your right hand to the outside of your left thigh and press your left thigh against your right hand as you try to pull to the right side with your right hand. So essentially you get an anchor so that you're stuck in space and not moving. Lengthen up with an inhalation, and as you exhale, lengthening your left arm out behind you. Looking over top of your left ear towards your left fingertips. Take one more full exhalation in this direction, and then drawing forward, reaching both arms upward again. Bring your left hand to the outside of your right thigh, and again, pressing your right thigh to the right side with the strength of your leg as you try to draw it to the left with the strength of your left arm. Lengthen upward with your inhalation and extending your right arm out behind you, looking out over top of your right shoulder. Take one more full breath here. And then slowly drawing back into center line. Walk your feet as close together as you can, so your knees and thighs are close together to provide support for your belly. Slowly beginning to extend forward. Now, if you have really low blood pressure or high uncontrolled blood pressure, I'm going to recommend you stay right about here, just so you don't mess with that and get lightheaded. Otherwise, you can begin to extend all the way over top of your legs, letting your head drop down, letting your arms be heavy. And let your head be as heavy as you possibly can, letting go of any holding here. To make things a little bit easier on your back, coming up, you can bring your elbows to the tops of your thighs, and then slowly draw back into a seated position. Making your way into your most comfortable seated position in your chair. You still want to make sure that your feet are flat on the ground, or if you're more comfortable, even coming into a cross-legged position on your chair. If that's ridiculous to you, just make sure you're as comfortable as you can possibly be, and that you can feel the support of the chair behind you. You can place your hands resting down on your thighs, and notice for a moment if hands down or hands up feels better for you. Sometimes when our nervous systems are a little overwired, containment can feel really good. And containment sometimes is as simple as pressing your palms down into your thighs. Again, you can either direct your gaze to a space on the floor in front of you, or close your eyes if that feels comfortable and safe for you in this moment here. And taking a deep letting go breath, inhale all of the effort of concentration in your practice, and exhale it out with a long, slow, deep sigh. Take another one of those deep breaths, gathering up the effort to keep your breath steady and your mind focused. And with an exhalation, let it go. Notice the parts of your body that are in contact with the ground, with your chair. Notice where your hands are placed. Notice the weight of your hands resting on your body. Feeling the weight of your clothing on your skin. Feeling the weight of your skin and your muscles on your bones. And taking a moment to scan your body, noticing any areas that you might be consciously or unconsciously holding tightly. And smile your eyebrows open. Soften your lower jaw away from your upper jaw. Unglue your tongue from the roof of your mouth, just letting your tongue rest heavy in your mouth. Allowing your shoulders to melt down away from your ears. For your shoulder blades to kind of slide down your back like melting chocolate. Letting go of any holding in your belly, in your chest, in your back. Allowing even your buttocks and your legs to be soft and heavy. And allowing yourself to be in this space of conscious rest for a few moments. Really sweetly beginning to bring your awareness directly to those parts of your body in contact with the ground and your chair. Feel the solidity of the support beneath you. And taking perhaps a deeper belly breath, just beginning to expand into your inhalations again. And slowly moving into feeling and sensation as you wiggle out your fingers. You gently roll your head a little bit and start to wiggle out your toes even. When you feel ready, stretch your arms out beside you, maybe even above you. You can stretch one leg at a time and just moan and groan and grr, whatever you need to do to bring yourself mindfully present back into the here and now. Shifting forward a little bit in your chair again so you can feel your feet firm to the ground and feeling the length of your spine and coming back into that space of intention. Connecting with your intention again for a moment. We'll end practice together with a deep, full letting go breath or two. When you're ready, just exhaling all of the breath out of your lungs completely. And inhaling, sweeping your arms upward, like you're lifting your intention back up to the heavens and bringing it back into your heart space. Taking one more breath like that, and gathering up anything you don't need to hold on to. Releasing it through intention and through breath. Coming back into that space, committing to that space of being mindfully present with yourself and with the people around you right now. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice today. Short and sweet, and I hope it keeps you moving on your feet. Have a great day.